Well, do they want a civil war? That's not me asking it. It's somebody else and some national figure asking that, and that kind of surprised me. I'm going to talk about that. Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith, and how are you all today? Before we get started, just a reminder that this and all of my videos are brought to you by the Stonemont series, the complete plan for planning for surviving and rebuilding after a complete collapse of everything. It's 6 novels written by me, yes. The reversion, the revival, the renewal, an appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, and hostages to fortune. If you are serious about preparedness and haven't read these, I would suggest this be the very next thing you do. Read this series. You will learn so much from it. I say that I could make videos for 20 years and never scratch the surface of everything that I've already covered in detail in these books. In a great story, too, and a great story. And yes, I'm working on number 7. So those are available through either Amazon, the link is down below in the information section, or a pinned comment, or directly from me. And that's the best way to really do it. In our website, through our website, stonemont.us, the link is also down below. You can order the books. And there's a place for you to say if you would like me to sign something in there, and I love to do that. It'll say, would you like Steve to sign something? What would you like him to sign? I love the relationship I have with my readers, so I love to do that. Just let me know how you'd want me to sign it, and I'm happy to do that. Some of you know that you followed what happened last night with President Trump. Not going to really talk about that, but you know that the Stonemont mugs have been in development, right? I'm still not happy with a couple of things about it. There's going to be an entire series of Stonemont mugs and an entire series of American Reversion mugs. And yes, we will have them ready for Christmas presents. Hopefully we'll have them ready in a month or so. I'm picky. I wait. But there is something, and it's already up on our website. There is something. The very first mug that is available is this. Can you see that? Am I holding it right? Okay. America, that's his mugshot. That's right. That is his official mugshot. You even see the little, Sheriff's Department thing up there. Boy, what a look, huh? If he doesn't look like a pit bull. America needs a reversion. And if you're not with us on the American reversion, I should say here, you know what I don't like? I don't like a mug that just has something on one side, so that, sometimes it's on the side that you drink from, so you're seeing it, but nobody else does. And if you have something, you want a message, you want to get out, you can't see it, or the other way around. So this one has it on both sides. America needs a reversion. Anyway, if you're not with us on the American Reversion channel, and I also put the link down there below somewhere, that's where we talk politics. And that's where this phrase comes from. America needs a reversion. A reversion named after my first book, The Reversion, going back to the way things used to be, were supposed to be. And I always say it needs you to be a part of it. But this isn't the political channel. I just wanted to let you know these are now available on the website, stonemont.us. Go ahead and get one. Get some. Get some for gifts. I know you have a lot of friends who are going to want some. So anyway, there's that. Let me have a sip, then we'll get on this. I can't promise that the mugs will make you gulp as loudly as I do. But you can try. So, do they want a civil war? Is this what they're after? We've heard a lot of people talk civil war. And I've talked recently about this, explaining that we've never had a civil war, why that other thing was not, but why something may be coming, and it's going to be more horrible than anything you can imagine. But I was interested yesterday. I was keeping track of a couple of news channels, probably not Fox. I think it was probably on Newsmax, because I was keeping track of what was going to be happening with Trump. And And whoever show it was on, I don't remember who it was, had Sarah Palin on. I hadn't seen Palin for a long time. I always liked her. She was the only reason that most people voted for McCain when they did. Certainly the only reason I did. But they had her on, and she's stalwart. Now, for those of you who aren't into politics, don't worry, we're not staying with politics. What she said, and she was talking about how unbelievable this is with was the persecution, not the prosecution, but the persecution of President Trump. She finally said, this is going to cause such problems. This is going to bring it about. And then she asked, do they want a civil war? I was a little surprised to hear her say that, because that came on the heels, if you heard me talk about Tucker Carlson's interview with Trump. He brought it up. He brought it up at the very end of their interview. He says, do you think there will be a civil war? And Trump kind of danced around it, but Tucker asked him again, said, do you think it will come to physical conflict? And Trump finally said, well, and January 6th, I saw a couple of things. I saw such love of country, and then I also saw such hatred for those who are tearing our country down, and that's a very dangerous, I think he said dangerous, I would say volatile, very dangerous situation. That's true. We have now had two national figures, an ex-president and a former vice presidential candidate. Palin carries a weight of her own, who are asking, essentially, do they want a civil war? We have to ask ourselves that. It's not, do we want it? It's, do they want it? And is this why they're pushing? I've said, and those of you who, especially those of you who have been with us over on the Patreon channel for any amount of time, have heard me talk quite a bit about insurrections and such as that over the years, and revolutions and civil war. And I've explained, because, as people say, and we'll see it in the comments, and I understand, people say, how much more are we going to take? How much more? And I've always said, there will never be that kind of response. Matter of fact, I'm writing in the new book, I'm writing a section on dealing with civil war. There will never be that kind of response until enough people are mad enough at the same time. And then I've also said that every great movement needs its martyrs. And and a movement like this does not have its martyrs. Randy Weaver was a long time ago. You might be aware that the anniversary of the attack on the Weaver compound was recently. That was a long time ago. Every movement needs its martyrs, and for enough people to get mad enough at the same time. And so my question to myself, because everybody's going to have different viewpoints, and I'm not taking a poll here. Do you think that it's reached that point or not? Feel free to express it. By the way, please stay away from anything suggesting violence. And also, I have to say a couple other things. Do not put things in that are even vaguely racist or anti-Semitic. I will think that it doesn't, I'm not telling you how to think, and I'm not telling you how I think. What I'm telling you is that is dangerous to a channel, and I won't have it. Okay, I will take it down. I've had a couple of people put up thinly veiled comments about that. People who have put good comments up before, and with whom I agree on most things. But I will not let those stand, because it presents a threat to the channel. So please work with us, not against us. Thank you. So what does this bring? Are we reaching to the point? Does the pushback now have its martyrs? Now, in this case, it's kind of funny. Trump is hardly a martyr. He's a bulldog. He's going to fight. He's going to take it to him. This is going to be something to watch. This is going to be something amazing to watch, what happens here. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know what's going to happen. And without knowing, it doesn't behoove us to make any kinds of projections. We kind of have to follow what's going on here and be responsive to the developing situation, if that makes any sense, right? I would never tell anyone else. Well, let me start this way. You need to think real hard about things. You need to realize that with two such major media people asking on the right, is a civil war coming? Kind of out of character for them. That means something. That means something. They have their ear to the ground. They don't say these things by mistake. They're saying it for a purpose. If it does come, are you ready? That's the important thing. And I'm not asking how you feel about it. I'm not asking what you're going to do. I'm not asking, and I don't think anybody should really get out there and say, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Okay? I mean, the first rule of if you're going to do anything is not talk about it, right? So I'm not asking about that. But are you ready? Think about what it could mean if civil war started. And think about what that means. I covered that a little bit. I'll talk about that more on the Patreon channel later, because we go in deeper into things more deeply on the Patreon channel. If you're not with us there, we'd love to have you. It's only $1 a month. The link is down below, and it is. You get so much more information on the Patreon channel. And if you want to hear my reading, the audible reading of the Stonemont series, we're now up to part 19 in the reversion, me reading the books. You can come up to the Stonemont channel. That's $5 a month, and you can get all the audibles and everything else. But anyway, I'll talk about this more over there. But you think about what you think a civil war could look like, and then check yourself. And I don't mean stop yourself. I mean, make a checklist. Are you prepared to deal with that? That's the most important thing. Are you prepared to do what you have decided you need to do? Not what everybody else needs to do, but what you need to do. Okay? And, I always take the position God and family, 1 and 2, and then everything else. Sometimes we're forced into situations. Sometimes we go into them willingly. People are different, and they will do that for different reasons at different times of their life. The decisions that I make now may not be the same decisions I would have made 30 years ago for any number of reasons, and the same is probably true for you. But I would suggest, as always, prep harder. If a civil war comes, it's going to bring all of the problems that we have talked about. Every problem you can imagine would be included in a civil war. Are you prepared? That's the important question for you to ask and then answer. Okay. So I hope you are. Feel free to leave your comments about this. Again, be nice. Don't be rude. Don't be argumentative. Don't be so cryptic that I can't understand what you're trying to say. I don't anymore respond to all the comments on YouTube. I've always enjoyed doing so. I simply don't have time with everything else, with the other channels growing and everything. I don't have time for that, but I do read them. And you know, if I think about it, I'll give a heart letting you know that I read your comment. But I will read all comments. And then, of course, I answer all the comments, or I get back to people on the Patreon channel. If you're not with us on Patreon, I will say this. Come over. Make sure that you don't just watch the videos, but check the member posts. There's such a wealth of information in the member posts. We have very bright people over there, very smart people. And you'll get so much additional information from them in addition to what you get from me, and then become a part of the community. It's a great community. It's the thing that I start off every day. I look forward to it. As soon as I get out of bed, I get my first cup of coffee, and I come down and I check the Patreon channel, and I check the comments since the night before, and I check the member page, and I check the messages. Another thing, that when you're over there, there's a way for you to send me direct messages, and then I'm able to get back to you on that. So I love to do that. Okay, remember that this is brought to you by the Stonemont series. If you haven't read them, I do suggest that, and you're serious about preparedness, I suggest this is the next thing you do, is read this series. You will be surprised at what you learn. And I say that because I've had very experienced survival and preparedness instructors all around the world tell me that they learned a lot from them. So, and then remember, the mugshot mug, that's what I called it, the mugshot mug, now available on the website, stonemont.us. And I tell you what, I can't swear it, but I think that the coffee tastes even better out of this one. Anyway, it's over there. Get one, get some. I imagine mine's one of the first ones out there. You all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. So think about this. What's coming down the road? Think about it and get ready. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.